obviously showcased our first 10 teachers. It's so good, sorry, I keep moving around. It's so good to have the top 3. Townsville born and bred, in terms of obviously the Binnacle program, because as I said, Binnacle was born in Townsville. So what a fitting way for us to end our 2019 ViSC, I suppose, series here in Townsville, and to recognise those top 3 teachers that have kindly given up their time to, well, given up 12 years, to devote obviously their teaching to Binnacle and their time here today to come and receive their award. So guys, can I ask Shane Harrison, Liz Hennig and Peter Groundwater to all come up to the front? So mine's got a little gift and a thank you. Thank you so much, Harrow. And if you don't mind just staying there, Harrow, thank you, mate. Peter Groundwater next. Oh no, Liz. Sorry, Liz. I didn't see you, Liz. Sorry. Congratulations, Liz. And Peter Groundwater from Gilroy. From Abigail, yeah. Sorry, guys. But obviously, a lot of those years at Gilroy Santa Maria. Congratulations, Peter. Thank you. So while I've got all 3 of you here, I have prior warned Liz first. I texted her last night and said, Liz, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put you on the spot, and obviously she said, of course. But I suppose what I wanted to just, it'll only be 1 minute here, guys, but I wanted to first share one story that I've got, a highlight, I suppose, over those 11 or 12 years that it's been. And for me, I'm going to start with you, Harrow. A highlight for me was in 2008. Harrow's son Matt was one of our first students in our traineeship program back then. And I didn't share too much with Harrow, but obviously I could tell that he knew what was going on in my life at the time. I was trying to run a business, trying to run a course, trying to do a million things, trying to live in Townsville and Brisbane at once. And I still remember so many mornings I'd be running late because I'd already been up developing our Cert Forward fitness that we were trying to launch that same year. And thankfully a lot of Harrow's students then went on to that course, and I definitely couldn't have done it without you, Harrow, in terms of not only, I suppose, launching the Cert Forward fitness that happened that same year, but obviously being able to access the gym. Harrow would always have the gym at Ryan, the old shed, opened up and ready for me to go, even if I came steaming in right on the start. And all the students were ready, they were dressed, ready to go, and ready to run their sessions. So thank you so much, Harrow. It was an awesome yourself. Thank you. Then to next. For me, it's the same sort of thing. We touched on it before around the adult fitness program was a program that I got to learn myself at university in 3rd year. And for me, I suppose what was passionate for me and the Binnacle team, and we were only a bit of a team of 3, as Harrow mentioned, my sister and my mother, was pretty much what Binnacle was. Somehow recruited them. But for me, at university, the only thing that I still remember as a key learning was when I started to train an adult in a fitness environment. So at uni I did an exercise physiology degree where I only really started enjoying it when I started training someone. And I still remember coming to Liz and saying, and Liz was at William Ross at the time, I said, Liz, we need to recruit a few teachers, okay, and each student needs to train a teacher. She said, don't worry, we'll get the whole staff room. And literally every staff member pretty much signed up, didn't they, Liz?
It was very
You
bad.
included.
It was very, very bad.
Who was bad?
The kids. It was the worst experience of my life.
And Liz did so many sessions and had so many of those students.
Because
Weren't they rat bags?
we couldn't get them over the line, so we were just training for. It was supposed to be like 1 term. We were there for just like forever, and it was our pilot group. That was the bad story. Really, it wasn't. We weren't going to talk about that.
Exactly. But Liz has got another highlight she's about to share. But finally, Peter. Mate, what I remember of Peter is I still remember the bookworks, the booklets, and we had 1 per term, so it was literally 7 massive booklets per student. And I remember him coming out with the tray of books, and I'm like, shit, how am I going to get these back to Brisbane? But I still remember that moment when we first showed Peter the Excel, when we moved away from books. And I was remembering giving us the USB, and I'm like, gee, how much better is this compared to the old books where we had to have trays and trays. So the USB transition with Peter is, I still remember there at Gilroy Santa Maria back in, I think, '09. So
they used to tell us, kids would say, yeah, I lost my book. It's gone. It was on another computer, and just every week, so finally got the USB, it said, copy after every lesson, copying all your work. The 17 students just copying their work, so they didn't lose their stuff. And they still managed to lose it, and then they would delete the copy that I would get and give them back. It's terrible. When Google was sweet, came on, it was the best thing ever.
yeah, I remember Pete saying thank you so much for when we finally moved to online.
Yeah.
Harry, do you have a highlight, mate, of the decade or 12 years?
Oh, look, it was more a revelation moving to it. There's been a lot of us that have always had a passion for trying to get kids active in schools, and having something where kids could be part of that process was something that was always really exciting. A lot of the work the kids did within the college to embrace fitness, to get staff motivated, and it's something that really carries forward today. And I still remember talking with Beryl and with Melissa on the phone, and Aaron was doing like 21-hour days trying to hold it all together, living in Townsville, people down in Brisbane. He'd come fresh from Melbourne Storm when he came up here, so he had that drive and passion for fitness in his own life, and you could see it when he interacted with the kids that he had that ability to inspire them with the same passion. So I've been really happy to be a part of it.
Thanks, Harry. Equally, mate. Thank you so much. And Liz, I'm a bit nervous about you sharing your highlight. That wasn't a highlight, was it, that 10-year program? Sorry, the adult program?
No, it wasn't. I guess, you know, for me, it started off at William Ross, and I was really privileged to be a part of that program. I'll never forget, you know, with the program obviously went the gear, and I'm very much a gear person, and the kids were all in these bright blue shirts. Remember, right at the beginning, they were absolutely terrible. But for me, I guess the important thing was the opportunities for kids and the flexibility of Pinnacle. And I'll never forget one day, and I must admit, you know, I'm digressing here, but Aaron always said to me, Liz, you have my number, and if you need it, you call me. And I did, and I said, I have a student who's in a very, very tricky situation. That was round about the 2015 mark where, you know, QCE was a drive, and of course the instruction from right above was we needed to get 100% QCE. So, you know, I had a student who was very much at risk, who was doing a Pinnacle certificate, and who needed 1 unit of competency, or else she wasn't going to make it. So I rang Aaron, I said, can you help me? And he said, leave it with me. And, you know, long story short, we got that student over the line, but it's not just about the QCE points, it's about the flexibility and how Pinnacle has tailored their programs to suit each and every school. And we all have different programs we run in our school. Our kids are all different. We've got different needs, different complexities, etc. You know, right now I'm really, really excited about you know, the Cert 3 Sport and Rec NRL. You know, it's an emerging program with the girls. Why don't we have it for the girls? You know, so that's kind of our next step. And you know, I flagged it with Aaron. He said, "Oh yeah, we're doing it at another school." And I said, "Well, great. You know, we want to do that." We've got 4 teams of rugby league girls who went to state championships. I'm sure. Is that right, Lydia?
Yes, I remember.
Yeah. Not too good at all of those things. But you know, so that would be my highlight is the flexibility, the professionalism. And you know, I just think it's been great. And our program manager now obviously isn't me anymore, but I still oversee the vocational pathway at our school in my new role. So you guys are really lucky. So thank you.
Thank you, Liz. Peter, I know I probably put words in your mouth around moving away from paper, but was there anything else, mate, that was a highlight, obviously, over those years?
I suppose the outcomes from it. So sometimes our admin at the school used to use Sport and Rec as a dumping ground, and but the students that would come out of there, there's definitely one back at the school that was in that has become a teacher now back at Gilroy. There's students that, Indigenous boys that had no chance of getting a QCE, that got their QCEs, and then they've gone into Sport and Rec out in the community, which is great. I know my niece, I still remember the first day she came in, she was one of the first ones, and she said, I hate little kids. We used to take them into primary schools and they work with the PE. We're the PE teachers for a primary school in England, and it's been going on for years. And my niece said, I hate little kids, they touch me. She's doing a diploma and she works in a childcare security. I thought you didn't like it, so I love it now because I learned to be with them. You see, it was really good. And that's what's happened. There's all these great outcomes. Like people said, I'm not going to be able to present in front of someone or do an activity. I said, yes, you will be. This after 2 years, they're running activities and they just go. It's just a great thing for life, just to be able to talk in front of people. And a lot of those kids are the ones that couldn't normally do that. They won't give an English presentation, but they'll run a sport and class. So it's good, really good.
Guys, can we put our hands together for these amazing